I am Dr. Utpal Chakravarti, Assistant Professor, Mrs. Kempiam Vocational College, and today the topic in which I'll be talking about is about advertising and sales. So, any topic that we start with, we should start with what does it mean? So, if we talk about advertising, advertising is a means of communication with the user of any form of product or service. So, who communicates? The organization which produces, the company which produces the products, or the organization that produces the service communicates that with the customers. The process of communication is called as advertisement. The communication can take place through media, like using television as a mode of advertisement. We can use, the company can use posters, journals, magazines, pamphlets, or internet for communicating their products to their potential buyers is called as advertisement. So in the process of advertisement, the company will try to explain about its products, try to convince people to buy, try to persuade people to buy, and try to sell more and more and capture a wider market by the process of advertisement. So there are some essential features of these advertisements. The essential features are that advertisement is acting as a tool for marketing promotion. If you want to promote the sale of any form of product or services, you have to use advertisement for promoting the sale of the products. You cannot promote it without using any form of advertisement. If we do not use the process of advertisement, then people will not come to know and people will not buy. So the first essential feature for advertisement is, it is advertisement is a tool for marketing promotion. Point number two, it is always non-personal in nature. The company does not come itself to promote the sale of a product. They give the ad through an advertising agency, then finally shown in the television. So the promoter of the company himself, it is not necessary, will come for the purpose of advertisement. So it is non-personal in nature. So whatever form we advertise, if we talk about the third feature, whatever form we advertise, be it using television, maybe using a poster, maybe using a pamphlet, maybe using a journal, all bears an expense. So advertisement is always a paid form. If we say it by the word of mouth, then it is called as publicity, and publicity is not a paid form. So advertisement is always in a paid form and publicity is non-paid form of communicating to people to buy the products and the service. The fourth essential feature, if we talk about, is called as wide applicability. Now, when a product is advertised through a television, the applicability is wider because it has got a mass appeal. It reaches to crores of people, they watch it in the television. If the advertisement is done in a nice way, if goods and services are portrayed in a nice way, and it could create a good perception regarding the product in the minds of the consumers, that point of time people will buy more and more of those products, which will help the company to gain more profits in the long run. So advertisement, when shown through the media, has got a wider applicability, is the fourth feature. The fifth feature, if we talk about, is called as varied objectives. The objective of advertisement is always not to sell more goods, it is sometimes even to make people aware of the products made by a company. So one of the objective of the company is to make people aware regarding the products. Second objective may be to promote more sales. Third objective is to capture a newer and a wider market. So there can be various objectives of uh, promotion. There can be various objectives of showing an advertisement. So one of the essential features of advertisement is this: it has got varied objective. The objective differs from one company to to another. The sixth point, if we talk about, in advertisement we have to use media. So the sixth point is use of media. When we talk about media, we mean to say television as a media, we mean to say radio as a media, we mean to say newspaper as a media, we mean to say journal as a media. So these all forms are used by various companies, not necessarily all of them, but they select a few among these all in order to advertise their products, in order to sell their products in the market. For example, a company may adopt television as a media who has got a lot of funds with them. But if a company does not have a lot of funds with them, they may prefer to go for a cheaper media, which may be a radio, which may be a newspaper, which may be a magazine, which may be a journal. So depending upon the resource, depending upon the marketing expense, the advertisement expense that a company can bear, they'll select one particular media in order to promote the sale of their goods. The seventh point talks about advertisement as an art. So every company who prepares an ad in order to sell their products, they demonstrate their creativity, has to demonstrate their creativity in that particular ad, because finally at the end of the day, the objective of showing an ad is to persuade people to buy goods, is also to persuade people to be convinced, is to pursue people in order that their buying regarding those products increases. So this persuasion will only come if it is made in a creative way. If the advertisement is made in a creative way, then people will be more convinced, people will be more satisfied, and people will start buying those products prepared by the company. Then if we talk about, then the next feature of advertisement is elements of truth. The elements of truth is this, that company, it is not necessary that always the company will say the entire part in the form of truth, but a major part has to be true, because you cannot befool people by telling something else and selling a different type of product. So it should be said in a glamorous manner, it should be said in a glamorous fashion, but it should also portray the true image of the products, so that once the people buy it, they should be fully convinced regarding the products. What has been told and what they have been purchased, what has been delivered is the same. People should feel satisfied, people should feel they have got value for their money, people should feel that the goods that they have purchased is important to them and they are beneficiary. Then only there will be a repeat purchase. So the advertisement should demonstrate the elements of truth. The next feature, if we talk about, is one-way communication. One-way communication, why do we call this? We call it one-way communication because only the advertiser talks about the product but is not in a position to take the feedback of the consumers. While a product is being demonstrated in the television, people buy those goods, people see the advertisement and buy the goods. People, if they are convinced, then only they will buy. So the company who shows the ad, the company who sponsors the ad, always is not in a position to get the feedback of the consumers. So it is a one-way communication. The other side, nobody, the person who is listening the ad, the person who is seeing the ad, the person who is perceiving a product, looking at the ad, their viewpoints are not being taken care of. So these are the essential features of advertisement. So if we jot down the points, we talked about tool for marketing promotion is the first point, non-personal is the second point, wide applicability is the third point, paid form is the fourth point, varied objectives is the sixth point, use of media is the seventh point, advertisement as an art is the eighth point, elements of truth is the ninth point, and one-way communication is the feature, is the 10th point of the in features of communication. If we talk about the advantages of communication, the advantages of communication are, the first point, it has got a mass reach. It has got a mass reach. Why? Because the media is so powerful that it can reach to the homes of 130 crore population of India, and even certain advertisements which are shown world over, products like Coca-Cola, products like Nestle, products like Brook Bond, which has got a global demand. The advertisement reaches to far off places. People from various places, they see that particular advertisement, they create a perception looking at those advertisements, and finally, if they are convinced, they buy the products looking at those advertisements. So advertisement has got a mass reach in terms of the product that reaches from home to home while advertisement is being shown. So advertisement has got a wider reach. Next, enhance customer satisfaction. When a customer sees an ad, they build a perception before they buy a product. So they feel more satisfied when that ad comes in the television, that ad comes in the newspaper, that ad comes in the journal, that ad comes in the magazine, that comes in the newspaper. That creates a brand. And this brand creates a special form of impression, a special form of liking regarding the product and the service. So, it enhances the customer satisfaction. Third point, if we talk about, that is expressiveness. If we talk about expressiveness means in advertisement, the advertiser expresses the product with the help of a model, with the help of a jingle, with the help of a tagline, with the help of a song, with the help of a videograph, due to which it becomes more lucrative, it becomes more convincing, it becomes a brand name, and people are more convinced in order to buy the goods and the service. The fourth point, if we talk about, is called as economy. Now, when an advertisement is shown to huge number of people, that means if it reaches throughout the country, that covers up 130 crore population. If it reaches globally, then much more in number. When people see to it, in comparison to that, the expense that the company bears is comparatively less. If the company has to go to such number of people by selling their own salesmen in order to explain them regarding the product or the service, then it will be much more expensive. So advertisement using mass media is comparatively cheaper than people going from one home to another explaining about the product or service. If we talk about some limitations of advertisements are also there. What are the limitations? If we talk about the limitations, the first limitation is less forceful. Why it is less forceful? There are certain number of times when people see the ad and they finally forget it. They are not convinced at the first go. Repeatedly showing off ads, slowly and gradually they may be convinced, but at the first go they may not be convinced. So when they are not convinced, it is less forceful. It doesn't persuade a person in order to buy the goods all the time. The second limitation is this: there is lack of feedback. Is the customer satisfied or not? The company doesn't come to know, because the company is not taking or not in a position to take a feedback from all the people who have seen the advertisement. So there is lack of feedback. It is even inflexible. Inflexible, why? Because each time we are showing the ad, always it is not possible in order to change the ad. It is not possible to change the ad depending upon the customer. If a salesman goes to convince a customer, depending upon the customer, he can change the mode of accent, he can change his style of presentation, he can change the way of convincing a customer to buy. But in case of advertisement shown by media, that point of time, only one content matter is being prepared, and that is being shown for everyone. So it is not flexible in nature, and as because it is not flexible in nature, it may have low effectiveness. Some people may be convinced to buy, and some people may not be convinced to buy. So what we talk today is what is the meaning of advertisement, what is the meaning, what are its essential features, what are the advantages, and what are the limitations. Thank you.